Leonardo da Vinci was a true Renaissance man. He was a painter, a sculptor, an architect, a scientist, an inventor, and so much more. He was curious about everything. He wanted to know how things worked. Leonardo was born in 1452 in Vinci, Italy. He lived during a time of big changes and exciting new ideas. This time was called the Renaissance. Leonardo is most famous for his paintings. Two of his best-known works are the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. People still love these paintings today because they are beautiful and mysterious. Leonardo was a true genius. He left behind amazing art and important knowledge that still inspires us. Leonardo's parents weren't married when he was born. His father was a notary and his mother's name was Caterina. Leonardo grew up in his father's house and showed a talent for art when he was very young. At 14, Leonardo started training with a famous artist named Andrea del Verrocchio. In Verrocchio's workshop, Leonardo learned to paint, sculpt, and draw. He also learned about other things like chemistry and engineering. Leonardo spent 6 years learning from Verrocchio. He became a master artist in his early 20s. He quickly became even better than his teacher. Leonardo's early artwork showed how good he was at making things look real. He loved the human body and nature. He studied anatomy and perspective to make his paintings look even more realistic. Leonardo's most famous painting, the Mona Lisa, is a portrait of a woman with a mysterious smile. People have been wondering about her smile for hundreds of years. The Last Supper is another one of Leonardo's famous paintings. It shows Jesus and his friends having their last meal together. This painting is famous because it looks so real and uses perspective. Leonardo's paintings were new and different for his time. He used special techniques like sfumato and chiaroscuro. Sfumato makes a soft, blurry look. Chiaroscuro uses light and shadow to make things look 3D. These techniques made his paintings look more real than ever before. Leonardo believed that art and science go together. He thought that studying science made him a better artist, and studying art made him a better scientist. Leonardo dissected human bodies because he wanted to understand how muscles and bones worked. He used this knowledge to draw realistic people. Leonardo also studied plants. He drew detailed pictures of plants and flowers. He was interested in how plants grew and their shapes. Leonardo's notebooks are filled with his observations and ideas about art and science. He wrote thousands of pages about his thoughts, inventions, and what he saw in the world around him. Leonardo was a true visionary. He had ideas for inventions hundreds of years before they were actually made. He drew flying machines, submarines, and even tanks. Leonardo loved birds. He studied their wings and how they flew. He used this knowledge to design his own flying machines. He also designed parachutes, helicopters, and even a kind of hang glider. His notebooks are full of detailed drawings and descriptions of his inventions. He even had ideas for machines that could be used for building, war, and even fun. Even though he couldn't build many of his inventions, his ideas inspired inventors who came after him. Leonardo was a perfectionist. He often didn't finish his work because he was never completely happy with it. He had so many ideas and he wanted to try them all. He would often start one project and then leave it to work on something new that caught his interest. Even though many of his works are unfinished, they are still considered masterpieces. His unfinished work is just as interesting as his finished work, maybe even more so. They give us a peek into how he thought and created. Leonardo da Vinci was a true Renaissance man. He was a painter, sculptor, architect, scientist, inventor, and more. He was a genius who was ahead of his time. Leonardo's work changed the art world. His paintings and sculptures influenced many artists who came after him. His scientific studies and inventions helped start the scientific revolution. People still study and admire Leonardo's work today. His paintings are some of the most famous in the world. His notebooks are full of amazing knowledge and ideas. Leonardo da Vinci was a true genius who changed the world. Leonardo da Vinci was a true polymath, which means he was really good at lots of different things. He was a master of art, science, engineering, and architecture. He was also a good musician and writer. He was always curious and wanted to learn as much as he could. He wanted to know everything about the world around him. He believed that everything was connected, and learning about one thing could help you learn about other things too. Leonardo was a genius because he could see the world in new and different ways. He wasn't afraid to think differently. He was always looking for new and better ways to do things. Leonardo da Vinci shows us the power of curiosity and creativity. Leonardo da Vinci left behind an incredible legacy. His work is beautiful and inspiring. He was a true Renaissance man, and his work still matters today. Leonardo's paintings, sculptures, inventions, and writings show us how brilliant he was. He was always curious and creative, always learning and growing. Leonardo da Vinci is a role model for everyone. He showed us how to be a true Renaissance person. He taught us to never stop learning, never stop exploring, and never stop creating.